let's see. Tony Coleman. Tony Coleman was referred for pre-employment assessment for Louisiana Pacific Corporation. He's applying for the Vice President of Supply Chain, reporting to the CEO. Tony Coleman participated fully in the interview process and appeared comfortable and engaged throughout the interview. Paragraph. Tony impresses early in the interview, in particular, with a good social presence and an easy to get to know you demeanor. He's social and pleasant in nature and generally can form relationships comfortably and manage relationships well. He is a 1989 graduate of high school in Nashville, subsequently attended MTSU and then Tribeca, where he graduated with a degree in business. Self-reported preference of math and science, although open to new experiences. He's an athlete throughout high school, and the VSF report was highly engaged in a wide variety of social and athletic endeavor. He's always been busy. Early jobs include lifeguarding, camp counselor, and other pro-social and community-involved activities. Early in the interview, he reveals himself as relatively less self-aware, sometimes difficult to interrupt, and tended to be verbose and overly detailed. Yet his nature remained pleasant, and he was easy to interrupt and redirect. He's been married for 26 years, has 3 sons, and for all appearances has a stable and consistent home life. He identifies key strengths of himself as being one who maintains a broad perspective, one that has a strong bias for action, and one who has a certain amount of interpersonal savvy. On the downside, he thinks he needs to slow down some, monitor tendencies to overcommit, perhaps be more thoughtful in his approach to people and situations, and learn how to ask more questions and to drill down. He also thinks he needs to increase his listening, which is evidenced as a need in the course of this particular interview. Testing reveals an individual of about average to modestly above average social need. Manifesting above average intellect, he's emotionally stable and resourceful, and has a bit more dominance than one might expect given the pleasant nature that he brings to the interview situation. He's highly conscious of rules and guidelines and tends to be somewhat sticky and even rigid in adherence to procedures, standards, and goals. Flexibility would not be a strength in this profile. Yet, he does lean forward with a degree of boldness and certainty, as well as a pragmatic view of particular circumstances. His self-assurance is sufficient to meet the demands of most situations, although it could grow over time. He does enjoy working with and around people, yet he usually will have a point of view and can sometimes hold stubbornly to his own perspectives. Generally, his countenance and his presentation, however, will be approachable, yet he may tend to be verbose and occasionally overly certain of his position. Paragraph. Work history and temperament suggests that he is a strong candidate for a position that requires him to animate established policies and procedures and work within a well-established and understood system. This profile suggests much less confidence in spanning a broad supply chain and integrating across functions that today may have a relatively modest degree of integration. While he claims prospective interview did not reveal an orientation toward a holistic or integrative approach to supply chain management. Paragraph. This is a strong candidate for employment with Louisiana Pacific Corporation. This evaluator does not believe at this time this individual is sufficiently developed to be the most senior supply chain resource in the body of the organization. The end.